Snipers, you have to see what's happening in the Bitcoin price right now, as this is an extremely important update, snipers. They never make this easy on us, but the DXY is now pushing up to potentially break its yearly high. This is a major puzzle piece that we've been monitoring here. Just notice right now how Bitcoin is having a cup of coffee at this extremely important level at 21,000 US dollars, snipers. And the DXY has been a very important puzzle piece for us to assume that Bitcoin isn't going to be seeing further lows below 17,600, because our hypothesis right now is that as long as the DXY doesn't break its yearly highs, there's no justification for Bitcoin to break 17,600 or see any further downside. But if we do break this extremely important resistance level, it is going to put a bearish scenario on the table with more likelihood. The major level is 109,294 for the DXY, currently sitting at 108.916, inching its way to potentially break yearly highs, snipers. This is the most important puzzle piece right now to monitor. The S&P 500, though, still above its 20-week moving average. The E-mini futures contract, the 20-week moving average, sitting at 4,000 break even, currently at 41.45. That's a very positive puzzle piece, but the DXY breaking new yearly highs could certainly put a bearish scenario on the table for Bitcoin. So let's talk about what Bitcoin is doing right now. Having a cup of coffee at this extremely important support level where we've so far formed a third higher low. I just have to be honest with you, snipers, based on this daily candle that closed with this extremely bearish continuation body, it does look like there is a potential downside on the table, especially with the DXY forming potentially new yearly highs. What are we monitoring for Bitcoin? Well, if we break 21,000 US dollars, snipers, 19,798 is an extremely important level. That's the 2018 previous all-time high that our monthly open has held above. But if we break below that, it opens up the door to 17,204 all the way down to that $16,000 level. And so we have to monitor the DXY. That would be the first confirmation that we could potentially see that downside scenario. And then we also have to look at what's happening against Bitcoin, against the SPY. Notice how very similar to the DXY potentially breaking into new yearly highs, this is doing the exact opposite. It's an inversely correlated chart here. We're potentially breaking yearly lows here soon, testing this major support level. If we break this extremely important low here for Bitcoin against the SPY, that is also an extremely bearish puzzle piece. It hasn't unfolded yet. We still have a potential for the bulls to come and rescue the DXY and the Bitcoin against SPY chart by not making those scenarios come true, with the DXY breaking yearly highs and Bitcoin against SPY forming new lows. But it's certainly getting close to that, which is why we have to address the bears and the bulls on this channel. We've had a lot of fun with Bitcoin above 20,000 US dollars. We've taken many long positions. Altcoins have done very well. But the fact of the matter is, if we look at what's happening to the S&P 500, it is facing its major bear market resistance level. It's not a surprise that we've so far rejected it. You can see here, this is the third test of this resistance level. The SPY being above the 20-week moving average is really the only bullish puzzle piece that we can hold on to right now, snipers. As long as the SPY stays above the 20-week moving average, then there's still potential that even if Bitcoin does see any further lows, it just forms a lower low and it could continue further up, because if the S&P 500 is maintaining its bull market support band, that's an extremely positive bullish puzzle piece that could stay intact despite the DXY and Bitcoin against SPY breaking down. But those are the three main puzzle pieces that we've been talking about here on the Snipers channel. Let's quickly discuss Ethereum, snipers, and we'll wrap up this update. Also rejecting its 20-week moving average, about to come down to test its 2018 previous all-time high at 1440. It's a more volatile asset. That would open up the door to 1277 towards that $1,000 level if we break below 1440. The current resistance in the immediate short term is 1760. We can get above that. We'll talk about some upside targets. Ethereum against Bitcoin, still rejecting 80,000 Satoshis. Remember, September 19th, the Ethereum merge. Let's see how we react around this level where we've rejected 80,000 Satoshis in the past. The major support is 65,000 Satoshis right now. And then for Ethereum to break into price discovery, or even have the chance to do so, it needs to get above that 88,000 Satoshi level, which is the major resistance inside of this range right now. It was a bloodbath today. The Dow Jones Industrial down 600 points. And we saw a lot of red across the board in equity markets. And so I think it's good that Bitcoin held above 21,000 so far. It's almost as if the S&P 500 is following Bitcoin, not the other way around. Bitcoin front ran that downside move for the S&P 500. but it's holding 21,000 strong. But remember, snipers, you having a cup of coffee at a major support, it's not the final destination. And so we have to keep the bearish scenario on the table. We've had a lot of time to bounce here, but we've yet to really do so. The daily candle is bearish. And so let's keep some downside scenarios on the table. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world, but what that does mean is it opens up the door for Bitcoin to potentially form a lower low here, maybe clear out some more liquidity around this consolidation that happened around 20,000. Does it open up the door to 13,000? I wouldn't say that yet. We won't talk about 13,000 or 14,000 until we see the DXY break into new yearly highs. If we see Bitcoin against SPY start to break down, we'll really start to address some more downside targets. But just right now, we are basically walking a tightrope. And I say that because the DXY and the Bitcoin against SPY chart are not looking good, as our bullish puzzle pieces potentially turning into bearish puzzle pieces. Then all we have to hold on to is the S&P 500 staying above its 20-week moving average. But that opens up the door for Bitcoin to do whatever it wants here. If the DXY forms new yearly highs, it could certainly be justified for Bitcoin to come down and test 17,000. Let's see what happens, snipers. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you support these midnight updates. And I will see you guys later and keep you guys updated as always. Snipers.